What's up, YouTube? Never thought I'd be doing this, but here we are. I just needed to use my voice again. I tried writing my thoughts down, and honestly, it almost sent me nuts. I would read it, I would reread it, I would edit it. My mind would just obsess on it, and it was just gonna send me around the twist. So I don't really care how many people listen to this. Frankly, I'd like to keep it as small as possible, but it's out there now. And I want to inspire, I want to educate, and I'm talking about everyone within my community. Things are currently completely unacceptable. I've watched this game deteriorate over time, and people are falling off the bandwagon, left, right, and center. So at risk of doing myself a disservice, I'm going to show you exactly what it takes to have some success in this game. Now, relatively, I am not very intelligent. I will say it. I'm not traditionally book smart. I am street smart. But I work my ass off. I'm a slow learner. For instance, I've been over here going to the same places for breakfast every day, dinner every day, and I have made myself try and remember people's names. And it takes me 3 attempts to remember their name. But once I get it down, I remember. I don't see the patterns like some kind of autist, but over time, my mind makes the connections. And that's what this game is about. Training, working hard, being disciplined, financial management. And then once you actually become a winning player, you can't be a spanner. The best advice I ever heard was you can have one vice, just one. It can be gambling, it can be women, it can be drinking, but you can't have two. So when you look at the way poker is supposed to work, where 10% win at that buy-in limit, you then have to have good lifestyle habits. Okay? So in that vein, I would recommend gambling responsibly for a start. You know, some people, they need financial help, right? For one reason or another, they get backed and they think, you know what, let's just jump in the deep end and play with the big dogs. The downswings can be enormous, okay? You need to mitigate the risk. So if you're a professional or a semi-professional and you don't have a great income source, you need at least 100 buy-ins. Like some of these huge tournaments, you need 300 buy-ins. Some of these small ones, maybe you can get away with 50. Okay, that's just a guideline. If you have a job, you need 20 buy-ins. Like, don't just go pissing away your weekly wage every time, because chances are, even if you do get somewhere, chances are those habits they'll be your undoing in the long run. For a long time, I was like, oh, when I have my big score, then I'll start being financially responsible. It doesn't work like that. There is no shortcuts in life. Now, apologies that this is all chopped and changed. I haven't scripted this. This is just from the heart. But I needed to talk about these things. I need to try my best to change what I am looking at. Not only do I want things to improve, I want people to be reimbursed for what has gone on. The entire Australian economy, the poker economy, revolves around disposable income, okay? So when times are tough, there's even less money going into these games, and they're being raked even harder. So let's rewind, look at where we really fucked up, make amends for it, and let's kick the can down the road. Now, shout out to anyone out there making content, whether it be on Instagram or Facebook or what have you, you're out there inspiring people, and that's great. But you need to do so in the right way. Because we got to take care of each other. We are a community, and we are humans. This isn't just some cold, gambling empire. You know, we have to sit down with each other to play. This isn't online betting where you just place a wager and the robot takes your money, because, you know, those odds are sharp. And if you're sharper, they'll kick you. So let's build something together. Now, you might be watching this and thinking, I've played with you, and at the table you're a robot, you never talk. And that's right, because this isn't just a game to me. This has been my life for as long as I can remember, for better or worse. I won a trip to Vegas, and my life was never the same. And straight after that, online poker was banned. But I never found anything that could occupy my mind like this. Again, for better or worse, it's a multiplayer game that is so complex. And it's fascinating because you're supposed to learn from your mistakes. It's pain. You associate pain with your errors, and you just want to avoid that pain the next time. So what I'm getting at is I'm very, very competitive, and I play, you know, for more than $1,000 at a time. But I'm looking at games where people are rocking up with hoodies and sunglasses playing for $100, $200 because it is as cutthroat as it could possibly be. It breaks my heart to see everybody thinking they have a future when there is no scale, there is no vision, there is... Now, like, I'm not here to piss on anyone's parade. I have been very vocal, and I apologize if I've upset anyone personally. It is a matter of perception. I may have been quite cold in what I have said, or been perceived as being rude or brutal, but sometimes you just have to hold a mirror to some ugly things. So I've presented problems, I've offered solutions, I've been ignored by everyone, and I'm at the point where I'm just like, fuck it. I will dive on this grenade if I have to. I will open myself up to whatever is thrown at me. If I can help people, whether it be the 20 people who care enough to watch what I have to talk about so far, that's awesome. That's all I want to do. If I can help 20 people improve their lives and be greater, like, that's a success for me. I'm at the point where I want to move on from this game. But the way these games are being marketed and built, it's just impossible to retire. Like, you need to just do a Malcolm. Hit the 1000x in real life. I've never met anyone else do it. So, shout out to Malcolm. So come along. I will start using landscape for a start. That first video was in portrait for some reason. It was just a bit of a snapshot at what I spent the last couple of weeks doing. Frankly, I was sleeping so little that my cortisol levels were out of control. I looked into some studies, and if you sleep less than 5 hours a night, your cortisol stress levels go up 100%. And that was compounding, and hopefully I never have to go down that path ever again. But now that I can finally get this out, I feel like I can, again, channel my crazy energy back to poker again, because every single day, every day, for the last few years, I wake up, I do my thing, and I just start studying. I will play 50 hands against the DTO robot. It is a 2-size strategy for every street. It is obscenely complex. after all of my trials and errors, I'm pretty stagnant at about 68%. So it just goes to show how complex this game is. And then when you start thinking about the fact that humans don't even play that way, it's astounding when you just get out there in the streets. Because when you look at GTO solutions, if you really look at what's going on, if you look at the ranges at play, you can start to see the hands that people have to have in order for you to start calling or folding. You know, it actually gets quite simple. And then once you can make these connections quickly, you get to just channel all that mental bandwidth into focusing on your opponent. Because, like I said, this game is not about book smarts. Online poker is about book smarts. Don't get me wrong. Street smarts come into it. When you play live poker, you just need one and you can win. If you have both, you could be incredible. So that's why this game is so attractive to so many people. Some see the intricacies of body language and others see the intricacies of range construction. You know, I feel like I'm starting to rabbit on, and I want to try and keep this video short. So what I'm getting at is, come along. I will try and post something every day. I will commit to something every day, whether it just be a photo or whatever. I was going to do the Instagram thing, but I can't be bothered, and it's too personal for me to open up my personal one. So I'm just going to make YouTube videos for whoever cares, and I would appreciate if people engage with me in the comments, because I am going to start sharing hands. I am going to review any spot I write down at the tables, and I will show you where I fucked up. I will probably reveal a little bit too much about my game, but I just don't care anymore. You know, all I want to do is go home and work on charitable causes. The first thing I'm going to do is Cards for the Elderly. I've talked about it, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to devote some of my time, well, a lot of my time, and if there are any pros out there who would like to help, that'd be awesome. If we could just get something happening in a few major cities to start with, you know, show what's possible. We could get government grants. You know, if you're a gazillionaire and you want to donate, we'll make that happen too. It's my passion project. I love cards. I was playing 500 when I was 8 years old. Like, my mind just loves cards. That's pretty much why I am where I am. And I see it as a fantastic way for community to get together, to prevent isolation within elderly adults, and especially to help with memory. Now, ideally, I'm going to win a bunch of money this trip and just retire. But even if I don't, I will devote some of my time to this cause. So love me or hate me, come along, and hopefully something amazing happens. Thanks for listening.